This is Joe Ballard, and I am presenting my final project for BADM 7900 LSU MBA online program, the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award and Strategic Management Process Model Assessment. So the agenda for today, I am going to be presenting on the several different initiatives within the final project, which includes a brief introduction. We will then do a literature review, organizational profile, leadership, strategic management, customer focus, measurement and analysis, process management, results, and then finally, I will present on a closing conclusion. To get started, I wanted to talk about the Baldrige Award and really what that is. It's truly a high level of recognition that a company can receive within the U.S., and it recognizes high quality within an organization. So the award really focuses on evaluating the strong quality components within an organization and is measured off of a few different following categories that include leadership, measurement and knowledge management, strategic planning, workforce focus, operations focus, results, and customer focus, which you'll see those are really the main items that are outlined in the agenda. So we'll discuss each of those. The Baldrige Award and its influences on workforce and human resource functions. We will talk about how the Baldrige Award plays a key role in the HR function and what the HR organization does to contribute to that overall success. Additionally, we'll talk about the strategic management process and how that's used to analyze business goals and objectives. I will say that that process within an organization is usually always changing, and companies have to be adaptable to coming up with new implementation strategies to remain competitive within the overall environment as well as their specified industry. Having a strong S&P is crucial for every business's current and future success, and the HRM function also plays a critical role in helping to not only develop those strategies but also execute them in many different ways, from bringing talent into the organization dependent upon the client's needs, as well as policies, procedures, and other essential functions within the organization that HR helps provide. So we did touch a little bit on the history of the Baldrige Award, but to dig a little deeper into it, I wanted to provide some information in terms of when the act was actually signed into law, which was in 1987. And the reason for the Baldrige Award and why it currently exists is really because the U.S. was trying to compete at a global level with other countries who were doing things similar. We never really had a standard in place in America that would allow businesses to enhance its competitiveness and become more efficient in the quality of the organization and the quality standards. And so back to 1988, President Reagan was able to present the first Baldrige Award during his time in office. And since that has happened, the Baldrige Award has really expanded to many different industries and has allowed companies all across the U.S. to participate in the application process and really earn their right to earn the reward. I want to talk about the the similarities of the strategic management process, and also explain that a little bit further because it does tie directly into the overall picture. We can really think about the strategic management process as more of a business approach for identifying challenges, goals, and missions that companies have. I kind of like to think of it as a way of always adapting to try to outperform the company's competitors. So it's important to have an SMP because it really identifies the reason why the company exists, and also sees and evaluates different areas where the company can either be better or really dominate in a certain area of the business and continue to have strong development and performance in certain areas, and focus and hone in on those areas to become better, and overall be a strong organization that is effective and makes the right decisions. We can go as far as comparing the strategic management process to the Baldrige Award. I would say they definitely have similarities in terms of how the processes are identified. We're looking at the overall picture of an organization, identifying the quality and the processes that are in place for the company to be competitive. So I truly think that both are definitely related in some ways, and they do both benefit the overall organization. Where this comes into play with Don Chambers, which is the organization that I have selected for this project, I want to give a brief organizational profile on Don Chambers and explain their overall picture. I will often refer to Don Chambers Ford as DCF throughout the presentation. And so they are a affiliate of Ford Motor Company. They are a dealership located in New Mexico. Don Chambers is really founded on their vision to deliver exceptional customer service to its customers. So it's truly not your traditional car dealership. Some of us may have experienced dealerships as being more of a heavy sales environment where you're interacting with salespeople, and obviously their overall goal is to sell vehicles. So there may be some, that may be a different environment than what DCF really stands by. They value everything that their customer brings to the table, and they truly want to deliver not just good customer service, but a loyalty to their customers so that they continue to come back to Don Chambers. They are a high-performing automotive dealership, and beyond what they even offer to their customers, they also are known for treating their employees well. It's actually said in the application summary that DCF offers its employees very similar benefits to organizations like Google, American Express, and NBC Universal. So, very great organization to work for, and very high sought customer service, always looking to benefit the customer. As we see here, the organizational profile of Don Chambers, it's really built on a model for customer satisfaction. As you can see in the image right here that I did take directly from the application summary, their vision is to be the best dealership in the New Mexico area, and their mission is to continue to grow through customer loyalty. So we'll see that kind of trend continue throughout the presentation on how Don Chambers wants to continue to provide success for its customers, but also a key component here is that Don Chambers does understand that in order to deliver that exceptional customer service, they must treat their employees very well, because ultimately your employees will take care of your customers. In terms of HR and how they play a picture into this, it's very it's kind of right there in front of your face, and to be honest. And so human resources is a huge component of the organization, in making sure that the people that Don Chambers hires, they're able to really care about their customers. But HR has responsibilities to train, develop, really lay that foundational approach to what Don Chambers wants to accomplish, and how that is going to make their strategic business plan successful. So now we can kind of talk a little bit more about Don Chambers' leadership team and their organizational structure. You'll see the image to the right kind of talks about the leadership system and what that looks like within Don Chambers. Everybody reports to the general manager of Don Chambers, and then there are 6 members who are on the senior leadership team. So each of those 6 members kind of oversees a component of the operational team or operations of the business. And so the SLT, which stands for the senior leadership team, meets once a month, and they represent really each function of the business. It's important in the culture of DCF that all employees are communicated with, and they know what's going on within the senior leadership team. And so if there's anything that needs to be taken up to the team or needs to be talked about in these monthly meetings, they truly do make sure that there is a strong representation from the core employee base during these meetings. There is often, future development and succession planning initiatives to offer continued advancement to the employees. It is a part of Don Chambers' strategic objectives, which they do incorporate this throughout the organization. DCF also has 7 elements within the leadership system that they really do focus on, and those include money, facilities, and equipment, data, people, critical skills, and supply chain. So to kind of wrap up this slide, DCF is really always looking for that strong interaction between the leadership team and their employees, and how they can really generate a strong overall culture within the organization so that every employee has a say in the decisions that are being made. The strategic planning process within Don Chambers really does link directly to the company's overall goals within the organization. So Don Chambers follows the same process that allows them to see what the company's challenges are, and also where they can find opportunities for improvement. The process is the same every year, but it does tend to be done differently. So each year, for example, there may be some different challenges within the organization, and obviously the strategic management process is a big part of how they directly solve those issues, and what they do to continue to provide customer loyalty and also grow the business. Don Chambers formulates an action plan and different deployment methods for both their short-term and long-term goals. And as you can see in the slide here, the focus is the HRM function and the action plans that are put in place. This is an example for a year action plan. and the different areas within the business that the HRM function is focusing on. To really dig into the image, the first one we see here is improve new employee onboarding. This is something that Don Chambers is always looking at in terms of how can they improve that first welcome with their new employees. What training methods can they add, and how can they ensure that every new hire has all of the resources that they need to be successful in their position. So HR is a huge piece of the strategic planning and how Don Chambers plans to continue its success. The customer focus within Don Chambers. So obviously you've heard me really talk about how a part of really Don Chambers' mission is to grow through customer loyalty, and so this is a huge focus within Don Chambers, and truly is a piece of the company's culture. They do a lot of performance analysis on focusing on customers and really providing their employees with the skill sets to provide that exceptional customer experience and build that customer loyalty. So the HR organization contributes significantly to this by offering training in different development opportunities to continue to offer that exceptional customer service, and do what they can to meet the needs of their customers. Don Chambers does also, they have several different channels of communication, including emails, phone calls, and even surveys. And so they're able to reach every different segment of their customers and obtain strong data on how satisfied their customers are. So this is another key component of how HR contributes to the overall effectiveness of Don Chambers customers. To kind of wrap this up, it's important to understand that DCF is always wanting to know what new products or services that they can offer to benefit their customers and really get a maximum return on what they're able to provide. So there's often times where those conversations are had with their customers, and it's important to know because this just gives you a really good example of how Don Chambers is always trying to continue to be there for their customers and try to offer the needs of what they want in order for them to maintain loyal to their organization. Here we see a very important slide in terms of, I talked about data in the last slide, and it's important to understand how Don Chambers measures and really analyzes their operational components and how they're tracking performance within the organization. As an overall picture, they do use third-party operations to consume data within the organization, and then they really select the data that's important to them and analyze that data to ensure that it's aligning with the company's strategic initiatives. They do generate monthly statements, which they often compare to previous months to ensure that their key performance indicators are either performing well or they're not performing well, and then from there they make a decision on where they can be successful. I wanted to provide the performance management system here to the right to really walk you through what the organization goes through in terms of how they improve processes within the organization. But there's a real big focus here on employee performance and how they evaluate that, because that's really where the HR function comes into play here. how employees are performing is measured daily, weekly, and monthly. So considering that it's a sales environment, their performance is important to understand how they're interacting with their customers and how the business is operating overall. To kind of dig a little deeper into this, we have to often consider the information that the company is looking at and analyzing. And so there's an important emphasis on data security and how readily available that information is. It's important to be competitive in ensuring that the data is accurate. And so there are several policies within the organization that stand behind data management and security, and HR does partake in those policies to ensure that whatever's being looked at or reported out on is accurate, and that also, within the organization, you're not taking that data outside of DCF and using it to anyone's advantage. It is secured within the organization in order for the company to access those results and really link their performance and goals directly to the data that's coming out of the business. As a process management, so this is another component within the organization that is extremely important to Don Chambers. They literally have processes for pretty much every operational component within the organization. They're implemented and put into place, for basically everything. So the main area of concentration, of course, is always the customer. So what can they do to make processes easy for them to benefit the customer? They look at different processes within the organization. Everything is documented, trained, and improved on. So even if we talk about new hires, if you're an organization that has a lot of processes in place, these have to be explained thoroughly, and DCF does this as a part of their new hire orientation. They also continue to, so if they come up with new processes, they contribute that to a part of the employee's development throughout the organization, just to ensure that each employee within Don Chambers is understanding their role completely and ensuring that they're doing what they can to impact the customer in the most positive way. The sales process is probably one of the most important, and again, this really helps Don Chambers determine how well it's performing, and that gives HR a opportunity to continue to provide a sales training to improve skill sets and also increase sales productivity. So again, another component within the organization that is extremely important, and HR really does contribute to the training and development of those trainings and manages that orientation process to make sure that all of our DCF's employees are successful, they understand their job, and then in turn they can provide the best customer service experience to all of Don Chambers' customers. As a result, for this entire assessment, we see a significant increase in Don Chambers' capabilities and the level of performance that they deliver to all of their customers. They have provided continued success in their new vehicle sales through customer loyalty. They have outperformed their benchmarked goals, seeing data close to 100% of employees who are satisfied with Don Chambers and feel safe in that work environment. Don Chambers was also voted one of the best dealerships to work for, really being #1 dealership to work for in the nation. So we see a very strong correlation with the high rate of employee satisfaction and workforce engagement that is happening within DCF, and DCF's commitment to its employees to continue to provide that significant work enjoyment throughout the entire culture at DCF. So this does really come back to HR and the employee population, and how we're providing our best operational success within the company to our employees, so that they can in turn provide that directly back to our customers. And Don Chambers is seeing that in the results, as they are one of the best performing Ford dealerships in the nation. To conclude, I wanted to really wrap everything together and understand and allow you to understand the knowledge that I've gained from this assessment and this project, and how human resources and the workforce contribute not only to DCF's high quality performance, but really as you look at the components of the Baldrige Award and the strategic management process, they truly do play a key component in the success of a business. And so it provides a strong understanding of what companies need to do in order to compete and strive for operational success. HR plays a huge factor in employee development, training, policies and procedures, safety, recruitment, and all of those things are very important to capitalize on in order for companies to have high operational success, high quality, and be able to elaborate and apply for the Baldrige Award and have a strong strategic management process, as it is such an important component of every organization in order to be successful and competitive. So that does wrap up my presentation. I appreciate you taking a listen, and thanks.